Hello there, this is Elise Benin of marketing-mentor.com, and this is the next in my series of marketing blueprints, excellent examples of LinkedIn profiles. And you can find all of them here in the toolbox section on marketing-mentor.com. And today we're going to be looking at copywriters and content strategists. So here, let's start with the first one, is Tiffany Butler. And for each of these profiles, I'm going to pull out 3 things I think work well, or that they are doing well, that you could possibly emulate for your own profile in your own way, of course. So Tiffany's title. Now, title is really, I think, the most important aspect of your LinkedIn profile, because it follows you everywhere. Along with your name and your headshot, your title follows you everywhere on LinkedIn. So it must speak volumes and to the right people about what you do. So let's look at Tiffany's. She says branding and content strategist, creative director, and writer for agencies and in-house marketers. So it's a lot, but it says not only what she does, in other words, the various roles she can play, but also for whom. And she's effectively speaking to 2 different audiences here, but they have the similar needs, agencies and in-house marketers. So that works. Let's scroll down to her summary. Now in her summary, you can see it's relatively long. So she's giving people a lot of information, and you might say, oh, it's too much. They don't want to read that much. But there are moments in a person's search when they do want to read as much as you will give them. So this, I think, is one of those moments. So in your summary, in Tiffany's summary, she is speaking directly to both of her ideal prospects, and she's identifying the pain they may be feeling, which she can relieve. She says, if you're responsible for the marketing department at your organization and don't have the time or staff to accomplish everything you want to do, I can make your life easier. She's not talking about what she does. She's talking about how she can make her prospect's life easier. And that is a very compelling way to draw people in. She provides an overview of how she can help in a bulleted and very easy to skim way, covering the different things she does, because remember, she does a lot of different things. And I want you to note the targeted titles. If you have this title, she says, that's my sweet spot, working with creative directors, agency principals, Marcom managers, and marketing VPs to expand their capacity for getting things done, whether it's branding and messaging or actual content strategy and development. And third, her tone is friendly and confident, without being arrogant, providing credibility by highlighting her experience in specific industries. So you see here, I typically work with creative services agencies, economic development organizations, local and regional governments, nonprofits, and B2B companies in the manufacturing, industrial, transportation, financial, and healthcare industries. So again, it's a lot, but it's focused. And if your industry is on this list, then you know she might be a good person who can help you. All right, let's move on to the second one. This is Deidre Rienzo. Deidre's title we'll look at first, very short and sweet compared to the first one, copywriting partner to web designers. It's short, it's to the point, and it states clearly who her services are targeted to. So her title is very focused, although if we scroll down to her summary, it's a little bit more generalized and speaks more generally to the public who can see this. So the summary, the first line of it says, if you can talk, I can write, perfect match, which is consistent with the positioning statement on her homepage. If you go to her homepage, connectwithcopy.com, you'll see exactly the same thing. So that consistency is very important. Plus, this is an example of her work, as is everything that a copywriter writes. It's an example of her work. So if you like what she's written for herself, then you might like what she writes for you. And third, the summary speaks to her general niche, as I said, but further down right here, she's speaking directly to designers, and she says, designers need copy to support your design. As a copywriting partner to designers, I help ensure your client's copy is as effective and powerful as your design. Let's chat about how we can work together. So this really is the perfect way to speak to your best prospects without alienating others you'd like to work with too. All right, that's Deidre. Let's look at number 3 here, Tom Tumbush. Now, Tom's title is very simple, freelance copywriter and ghostwriter. It's keyword rich, even though it's very simple and general enough to support the 2 similar yet different businesses for 2 different markets that is reflected here on his profile. You'll see that as we go down. We scroll down to his summary. Now his summary is written in the 3rd person here, and it speaks, as I said, to both markets, dedicating a separate paragraph to each. So it says, Tom writes copy that creates action for creative professionals. He writes web copy, email blast, direct mail packages, advertising, brochures, newsletters, articles, audiovisual scripts, speeches, and more. He's also available as a ghostwriter. And second paragraph, in addition to his own copywriting business, Tom is the co-founder of Better Industrial Brands, a marketing agency specializing in B2B solutions for industrial companies. And you can see he's included the URLs for both. This nicely solves the problem that many creatives have about how to promote 2 different things in such a public forum. So I think that works well. If that's you trying to do that, this is a good model for you. All right, number 4, Nancy Wellinger. Now Nancy's title here in this tiny space, I love the way that she hooks you immediately with a very personality-rich title that grabs your attention. It's a perfect example of her work also. Chief Idea Wrangler and Copywriter at Free Range Advertising. Next, if we look at her summary, I'm going to read it out loud. It's very short, but I love it. She says, I'm not sure what fascinates me so much about words, the sound of them, the ideas behind them, how we string them together, or the power they have to stir our minds and hearts. I love it all. Heap on the background info, show me the tangled barbed wire of loose thoughts, and tell me how many seconds, characters, or pages I have to work with. I'll dig in with gusto and pluck the strongest ideas and words, edit the hell out of them, and develop the hidden nuggets that may have been there all along. So again, this short and sweet summary entices her visitors. She speaks to them directly, almost intimately, it feels like, providing a window into her personality. And she gets at what she loves about the work she does. This is a nice place to do that. And I'll add, it's one more compelling example of her work. If you can do this on your profile, then you're very much on your way to hooking your ideal prospects. All right, number 5 is Amy Posner. Now, Amy's title is Freelance Copywriter, Direct Response, CRO, and Marketing Strategy. So Amy's title uses the jargon that her best prospects use to search for her services. And by doing so, quickly and I think very deftly communicates that she knows what she's doing. If you don't know what CRO is, you are probably not a good prospect for her. If we scroll down to her summary, again, it's in the 1st person, and it speaks about the challenges facing her ideal prospects and then goes on to describe how she helps them. She says, every day I talk to people who are crazy committed to what they offer their clients, delivering quality and providing solutions. They genuinely want to help people. They're often brilliant thinkers, even visionaries. So a little flattery there if that's you. They all have the same challenge, how to connect with the people who can benefit from what they offer. Once they do, how do they build rapport and exert influence? So kind of planting seeds with questions. And then she provides the answer, which of course she can bring to the table. It all comes down to messaging. So if you are one of her best prospects, then you will relate immediately to the challenge that she's outlined and know that she might be a good fit. And as with most copywriter profiles, the copy itself is an excellent example of the work. And if it works on you, then you may assume that it may work on your customers as well. The other thing I love about Amy's summary and profile, if you scroll down, you'll see she features 3 very strong calls to action with a little arrow next to each one, where visitors can find more information. So read more about me here, including what clients say, request my info kit and ebook, so that's her freebie, or spend 20 minutes with me to discover why your marketing message is getting lost in the noise. So emphasizing the pain point. All right, so that is an excellent example. And finally, we're going to look at Bob Bly. Bob Bly is a longtime client of mine. And his profile is a little bit different. You'll see he has been at this for more than 30 years. And his title goes straight for the ROI, the return on investment, without, I think, resorting to hyperbole. Direct response copywriter, recognized for writing copy that sets new sales records and improves your marketing ROI. It's masterful. And you'll notice that instead of a headshot, he's got a copy of one of his books. I think that's brilliant. All right, and finally, let's look at his summary. Very lengthy summary, but again, especially for copywriters, they expect to see your writing, so this is a good place to put it. His summary opens with a surprisingly personal statement about the thrill of copywriting. He says, copywriting for me is thrilling, and the thrill comes from writing a promotion that generates more leads, orders, and sales than any other promotion that's been tried for the product. You know, I've seen people talk about their passion for the work they do, and sometimes it just doesn't feel real. But here, for some reason, maybe because he's a masterful copywriter, it feels real, and I actually think it is, and maybe that's why. So then he goes on to include a bulleted list of actual results that he has generated for different types of copy in which he has expertise, and it's extensive because he's been at it a long time. And he also has what one might think is too long of a list of specialties. How could someone specialize in all these things? But again, with the credibility that he's emphasizing here, you don't question it because you can tell that it's real. So I think he establishes that well, and then also a call to action for a free, no obligation estimate on your next copywriting project. Call me here. So he's got his phone number in the summary, which I don't see very often. You know, you could have it in the contact info section, but then people would have to click on it to find it. He's got it right there out in the open. So there we go. Those are the 6 excellent examples of LinkedIn profiles for copywriters and content strategists. So thank you for listening. Of course, please connect with me on LinkedIn if you have not already. I've got tons of content, actually, that I've posted here. You can click there to read everything. And besides linking with me, I encourage you to sign up for my quick tips. I'll show you those here on the marketing-mentor.com site, or you can find it at marketing-mentortips.com if you're not already on that list. Or if you've never been to the website before, you'll get a little pop-up box that asks if you want to sign up for the free course. So all of those things, lots of things that you can learn from. All right. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for the next one.